with this. Apparently, there was an echo in the background, and I'm back again. This is Keep It 100 podcast. Tarail McBee, your host. Our guest, Alexa Valentino, will be joining right now, actually, because I just saw her. So, let me add her. Okay, let's see.
Here I am.
Okay, for sure. So, let's try this again. um, again, you want to introduce yourself. You don't have to say all the other long story you said before. You can just like say
Yeah.
something small, but for sure.
So, yeah, I'm a songwriter, actress, entrepreneur. I'm 15 and I am based in New York. So, yeah.
For sure. Oh, you're 15?
Yeah.
Oh, you got started early, didn't you?
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. First question I have. I didn't know you had a Spotify until like recently. So, um, your latest song is "Awake at Night," correct?
Yeah.
Uh, do you have like the inspiration behind like putting out that song?
Yes, I wrote it with, I actually, believe it or not, I was awake at night, and I come up with a bunch of ideas a lot that I just write down, title ideas, song ideas, and I kind of awake at night, I like laying like awake, and I was writing some ideas, and that happened to be one of them. So when I presented it to the person I wrote it with, we were just kind of talking and opening up about our own lives. So when we thought of awake at night, basically we decided to put our own, what keeps us personally like awake at night, behind the meaning of the song. And yeah.
For sure. Okay, sounds good. And I was gonna ask a question of when did you first get into music, but I'm not sure if that was like at a younger age. Was that like at a younger age?
Yeah, acting at 5, but I started like releasing music at 11.
Okay, for sure. That's good. And do you have like inspirations, like far as like certain artists that like you follow?
Yeah, like I do a lot of like broken down like inspirations, but like overall inspiration would definitely be Lady Gaga, which I know a lot of people say, but she's basically just kind of done it all. Like she started out as a writer. Um, she's done acting. She starred in A Star Is Born, and she's an amazing pianist and singer, and um, I love her. So I would definitely consider her to be like my main inspiration.
For sure. And the question we ask literally every artist that we interview, well, I guess it's considered a question. Do you have a top five artist list?
Um, Top 5 is easier than like a top 3, so I would probably say Lady Gaga. I'm gonna have to put Halsey on there. Um, Camila Cabello, I really like. Um, who else do I really love? I'm probably gonna put Black Bear on there. I love Black Bear. Um, and who else would get on that list? Probably Julia Michaels.
For
Because she
sure.
also has a big songwriting part of her that I admire. Yeah.
Okay. That's a different list, but again, every artist list is different.
Yeah.
Good list though, for sure. Um, Let me see. Are you a part of a label? Like, are you independent?
I'm independent right now.
And do you eventually want to be a part of a label, or are you just trying to go like the independent route?
You know, I'm working I'm working with a company right now. They're a publishing company, and um they're really mentoring me and guiding me with my create my branding right now, but I like not being under a contract. I don't want to be like controlled. If I got some, amazing opportunity, I would think it over. It wouldn't be a like never, no way. But the second I, get offered, if I were to get offered a label deal or a record deal, I wouldn't just jump at it. I would have to think it deeply into.
For sure. And I've been talking to like a lot of artists, and I guess like the independent way has been what I've been told. It's like, I guess it's like the new wave of the way to go.
Yeah,
You're owning 100% of your music. And I'm not sure like the dynamics of it, but I think owning 100% of your music is like great.
yeah,
But yeah, I have to do more research on it. But the 100%
yeah,
of the music is, yeah, that's amazing.
yeah. Whenever I've gotten songs signed, film and TV like sync purposes or whatever, I've made sure, under contract, where they're not getting any of or any of my music. And I do kind of like the idea of that. I was actually reading an article about 10 ways the music will change in the next 10 years. And that record labels are really the
Mhm.
thing. So it's really interesting that you brought it up. But yeah, I think that's definitely um, a pro of
For
that.
for
Yeah.
sure. And what is the process of switching topics? What's the process of when you write a song? Like, say, if you write a song, right? Like, is there someone you send it to tell you like the positives and negatives? If there's negatives, like, is there someone you send it to for like feedback on that?
So I have a couple different mentors that I do send back. A lot of the times they're specific, and I can't say too much yet.
Yeah.
Like publisher I've been working with for a while now, as far as like signing my songs for film and TV,
Mm.
and we almost kind of like have an agreement, like not an agreement, but we have a relationship. She almost basically hears everything right as if I was like had like a publishing deal with her. So a lot of the stuff that I write, I kind of have her in the back of my mind. And a lot of my stuff I do present to her. But I have like other mentors in different like areas and strong suits that I will present my music to, especially if it's something I'm planning on releasing.
Mm.
Because I don't want to get in my head and like only believe, because we convince ourselves that our own songs are, perfect. And learning how to read my own stuff was a big, hurdle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And far as I just figure out access. Far as like the size of like your group, like do you prefer like a large group or like a small knit group?
I prefer a smaller group, but there's pros and cons of both. Like,
Mm.
I'm really like talk specifics here, but one of my mentors, her name is Sharice Poltore, and she's owner of Songwriters Connection, which is a smaller group in Nashville, and they do song evaluation, which are online kits. And her company is successful, but more of that like family community. She actually came from NSAI, which
Uh-huh.
is Nashville Songwriters Association International, and they have like big like group meetings and like all these bigger things that I still like attend and stuff. So kind of a part of both. So it's nice to have like a balance, but I would say a smaller sometimes better. It's you feel like you're getting more feedback. You feel really connected to the person that is giving you that.
Mm.
But I think there's pros and cons to both, which is why it's nice.
For sure. And let me ask you this: like, is there a certain producer or artist that you eventually want to work with, like in the future?
Um, I was actually just thinking about this today. As far as a producer I'd like to work with, I'd like to work with Zed at some point in my life. I am able to.
Mhm.
Like, cool. An artist to work with. Hmm. I believe it or not, I would like to work with an artist in my time, like that I am not like super like that I love much. Like obviously I want to like them and enjoy their music, but probably not like one of my top fives. And the reason I say when it comes to like people I like idolize, I kind of have created like a perception of them in my head. And I almost kind of want to keep it that way. I'd like to maybe work with artists like that I don't know much about or whatever and really get to know them that way. I don't know if that makes sense. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could think of a specific artist. It's just yeah, at this point. Um, but yeah.
For sure. Um, I'm gonna ask you a question about this playlist I started. You're actually the first pop singer I started listening to. So
Really?
yeah. So I'm I'm gonna ask you about this playlist. So let me find this playlist. So this playlist on your Spotify shows 5 songs. Is that accurate or is there more?
Um, I have I have more out. I'm gonna have a lot more out, but I think it was created of my top five, like most listened to.
Okay. I think so. Yeah, because "Awake at Night" is like number one.
Yeah, it's one.
I heard that. I just heard that one before it came on. I like that one. "Jealousy" haven't heard that one yet. "Lying is a Sin."
Yeah,
That sounds like an interesting song. I might vibe out to that later. Um, "Pull Me Down Under."
that's
Yeah. Okay, so I have a new playlist apparently, so I will be listening to that after we're done. But let me ask you about, I guess, because these are all off of EPs, right? Like all these
so,
songs.
I released one EP in 2018. And then I have about like 6 or 7 other singles out. So I don't think actually any of those. I do have coming. And it's so crazy to me because I have written like hundreds of songs based on songwriting work I do.
Uh-huh.
I just am so excited to finally like release this stuff and let you guys hear it. But I do only have one EP out, and I don't believe any of those songs with it because those are
For sure. What far as like your, I guess, debut album? Are you gonna do something like that eventually?
so I really wanted to do. I actually wanted to do an album next instead of an EP. But I was, going through with some of my advisors, like on like my team and my own like reflection, and I really wanted to see as a way to, like really like bring awareness to my name and my artistry. I have that, like I don't want to necessarily say like fan base. That sounds like I don't like to say that, but like community. Uh,
Hmm.
I want to be able to then present it. I also feel like I'm at a point where I'm like 85 is like really understand my sound. I want to wait till I'm at 100% and really let that be my debut album. I don't want to do anything too soon. So soon, soon.
Okay, for sure. I'll be on the lookout. I
Okay,
believe, I believe we follow each other now, so I'll get a notification whenever you post something.
you will.
For sure. Um, what about like you as an artist? Is there anyone you compare yourself, or is it just you?
Um, I try not to do that too much. Because I don't want to find myself like, um, I, I mean, I would consider myself like I definitely have like small like individual outlets, like you know other artists, but there's no one I would necessarily like compare myself to. I feel like my own sound that I'm pretty unique, and I feel that way. I don't want to start to categorize myself with another artist because I'm on a journey, and sometimes you can get
Mhm.
mentally confusing. Um, so I wouldn't necessarily compare myself solely to any other artist. But I definitely have other artists, in my own artist.
For sure. Okay, sounds good. And next question I have is actually about the studio. Actually, um, is there an average amount of time that an artist spends in the studio? I think I know the answer, but I want to see what you think about that.
Like, do you mean like a day, like going in, recording, and leaving?
Yeah,
Probably 3, 4.
3, 4 hours.
Probably, which
Okay,
it could be more, and sometimes it could be less, but I usually spend like an average of about 4 hours.
for
Sometimes
sure.
6, but yeah.
Okay, and since you've been an artist, like, have you learned from being in the studio? Have you learned like how to like produce and use like I guess other, what's the word I'm looking for?
So
Other systems and software in there. Like, have you?
yeah, I actually created my own home studio quarantine because I had to. So I definitely have like picked some stuff up. It depends on the like producer, or the engineer. Like one of the ones I use like most frequently, like that he's recorded a lot of my songs. I'm actively part of the process. And then there's some that just like do their thing at home.
Uh-huh.
But I pick stuff up and I'm able to do like an amount of things now. I would definitely say for sure though. Yeah.
Okay, and what was the process like? Was it like simple to figure out, or did it like take you some time to like go over everything?
The basics are pretty easy. Learning how to create a track and like, as far as like things sound, like mixture, I'm still at that for sure. The basics weren't too hard. Setting everything up though, like getting
Hmm.
all like, equipment set up and everything, that was not fun. But as far as the side of it, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I always wondered if I I kind of pay attention to music now. Not a, like I podcast and stuff, but like I was always wondering like how would the artist learn how like the systems work. I guess it's kind of like trial and error when you're in there.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. And if someone wants to see well, not see your music, but like find out more about your music, I know you have a link in your Instagram. Um, do you,
Yeah.
do you mind sharing that, or I could just create a post after the video?
Actually, I will put a website that really has everything.
For sure.
I don't know if you can pin it after. I think you can.
Um,
You should be able to do that. I think you have to like down.
okay, I'm gonna remember what the website is. So
It's www.alexavalentino.com.
for sure, yeah. So if anyone's interested in learning more about our music, there's a website. But back to learning about you. As far as like, are you based in New York right now?
Primarily, yes. I do kind of split my time between New York and Nashville at this point, and I'm making the move to Nashville within the next like year and a half, 2 years. Um, but yeah, I live
And is that where you're originally from?
here. Yeah.
For sure. And how is it like being 15 years old and like an artist? Like, I'm talking before the coronavirus situation. Like, how were you able to like balance school and like your music and being like 15? I
I
know
don't
how.
like. I honestly don't know how I did it all, and now that I'm home, like doing school due to coronavirus, if I ever did it. Um, it's definitely, and I did really well in school. So to think that I was able to do that, when I was really young, like elementary school, I was basically learning how to productively like split my time between work and play.